Determine if the function f of x equals tangent squared of x minus cosine of x plus 3 has symmetry about the y-axis, also known as even symmetry, or symmetry about the origin, also known as odd symmetry, or neither. F of x is tangent squared of x minus cosine of x plus 3. Tangent is equal to sine over cosine. Tangent squared will be sine squared over cosine squared minus cosine of x plus 3. The fraction is made up of a odd function sine, which is squared, and odd times odd is even, so that will be even, divided by cosine, which is even, and even times even is even, so cosine squared will be even. Even over even is even, so the first term is even. Cosine of x is even, and a constant is always even symmetry. So we have three terms, each of which are even. Therefore, this is expected to have y-axis even symmetry. What we're going to do is calculate f of negative x. If we find f of negative x to exactly equal f of x, this will have y-axis even symmetry. If we find f of negative x to exactly equal the negative of f of x, this will have origin odd symmetry. And if we find neither to be the case, it will have neither symmetry. F of negative x means to plug a negative x in for each of the x's, which will give sine squared of negative x divided by cosine squared of negative x minus the cosine of negative x plus 3. The sine of negative x equals the negative sine of x, and the cosine of negative x equals the positive cosine of x. So f of negative x will be, sine squared means to evaluate the sine first, so sine of negative x, and then square the results. Same holds true for the cosine squared. It will be the cosine evaluated first, and then square the results. And then minus the cosine of negative x is equal to cosine of x, then plus 3. The sine of negative x is negative sine of x, then squared, divided by the cosine of negative x is the cosine of x, and then squared, minus cosine of x plus 3. F of negative x equals negative sine squared, negative squared is positive, and then sine squared, over cosine squared of x, and then minus cosine of x, and plus 3. Comparing this to the original, each of the terms has exactly the same sign as the original. Therefore, f of negative x equals f of x, which is the exact condition for it to have y-axis even symmetry.